Don't use the opportunities that you have to talk with each other, to complain. Just enjoy each other. Unravel that big ball of tangled thoughts up there. And then I just became like a sleep deprived pigeon. The more we do apart from each other, the more we feel separate and less like a team. Our marriage is the most important relationship in our life after our relationship with our Heavenly Father. Don't run away from the difficult things, the obstacles. Do it together as a team. That's why God created marriage, because we're better together. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you 4 ways that my husband and I are intentional to make time for each other even during really busy seasons. For us, we've been married 20 years. We have 9 children. Like, if you're a parent, if you have little ones, if your kids are in school, whatever, season of parenting is just busy. And then you add the holidays on, or summer time and travel, whatever you have going on, it just can get crazy. And it's so easy to push our marriage and time for each other down to the bottom of our to-do list. Our marriage is the most important relationship in our life after our relationship with our Heavenly Father. Let me tell you, the crazier your life is, the busier your season that you're in is, the more important it is to make sure that you're making time for each other and you're finding that time to connect with each other. It affects everything else. And if you stay till the end, I have 7 of our top date night tips that we do, and we have like no budget or no babysitter, and we're gonna get right into it. So our first tip is not a sexy one. Nobody really wants to do this, and I think that's why it's so easy to not do it, is to just schedule time. Schedule time to be together. Sometimes it's necessary to schedule time to be together, if you know what I mean. And it's important because spending time talking to each other without phones, connecting just in conversation, whether that's 15 minutes without the kids, or physically, it takes time and it takes intentionality. The busier the season gets, the busier life gets. And sometimes for my husband and I, that just means getting on the same schedule together. Whether that means we're trying to get up at the same time together or go to bed at the same time together. In our relationship, my husband is the night owl and I am the early bird. Early on in our marriage, that was a real struggle for me because I personally was trying to keep to my husband's schedule, but then I was up with babies in the middle of the night, trying to get up early to get ahead on my day, and then I just became like a sleep deprived pigeon. So I don't recommend that, because although we were having some more time together, I was certainly not the most chipper, cheerful person to be around, and that certainly doesn't lend itself to connection. So try to get up together, get ready for bed, brush teeth together. The more you are together, the more you're just gonna have opportunity to have a conversation or have connection or just hang out together. Even that builds unity. The more we do apart from each other, the more we feel separate and less like a team. Along that note, the second tip is to do what needs to be done together. Something that my husband and I have really found difficult and a struggle is we easily just kind of pass each other and pass off kids to one another as we just divide and conquer. And definitely there's a time for that. There's seasons that we are in, but I would suggest to you, when the seasons are busy and you already have less time together and you already feel a little bit like you're in a frenetic pace, to try to do the things that need to be done together as much as possible. Whether that is just making dinner together, folding a little laundry while you have a conversation, or running errands together with the children. It's really easy to just let someone stay home and be the babysitter where someone has a break. One out having a break, one home with the kids, and then we just keep swapping. And what are we doing here? We're passing each other by. We actually want to spend some time making connection, real connection with each other. And that can happen more easily just by spending time doing something together. If you ever watch a chick flick that you thought was good, it usually has that component and element to the story of challenge that has been overcome and builds unity and bond in the relationship. And so as much as sometimes it's like you're at the end of a long day, the thought of a project or something difficult that you're going to be working on together doesn't sound fun, it can really build unity. And so I want to encourage you in that too. If there's a difficult task looming over you in a season that's really busy, maybe you're really busy because you're renovating a home or something crazy like that, really try to use the opportunity to tackle it together. It is a bonding, unifying thing to overcome a difficult obstacle as a team. A lot of couples avoid this because conflict can arise and there can be confrontations in, differences of opinion. I want to encourage you that will actually work itself out towards building a deeper relationship between the two of you if you can learn how to communicate with each other during something like that and understand each other and work as a team. That is the objective of marriage. And so don't pull away from it, really lean into it. Lean into those opportunities. Sometimes the challenge that you are facing together is a difficult parenting situation. And so get together as a team to conquer that, to battle that. Seek God's word together. Seek mentorship and counsel together so that you can be on the same team as you charge forward into this battle and this obstacle to overcome it. Do it together. It's going to bless your marriage. I guarantee you it will cause more fruitfulness. So don't run from it. Don't run from the conflict. Don't run away from the difficult things, the obstacles. Do it together as a team. That's why God created marriage, because we're better together. The next little idea is stop making excuses and instead make plans. I think that we tell ourselves we're in a busy season, therefore we don't have time for date night, or we're in a financially tight struggle of a situation and we don't have money for a date night, or we can't get away, we've got little kids or a nursing infant, and so therefore, we can't go on any fancy trips, and so why even try or schedule or put anything on the calendar? And I just want to encourage you that any excuse will do. So stop making the excuses and just make plans. What can you do? There is a lot you can do. And like I said, towards the end of this video, I'm going to have some tips on inexpensive date night ideas. But you can stay at a hotel in your town once a year, put a little money aside to just one night as a getaway. Take the opportunities that you have in front of you and take the time required and needed to plan and schedule and budget for those things. It does not have to be a trip to Paris or Europe. Taking time to do that, even in crazy busy seasons, is valuable. It can seem frivolous, especially when things are busy or the budget is tight, but this is the most important relationship in our lives. Hiring a lawyer to file for divorce is even more expensive. Sorry, I probably shouldn't include that in the video. It's worth it to invest in your marriage. It can be something. So get creative, get resourceful, and instead of making excuses, make plans. So my final little tip is the one I think everyone's been waiting for, is getting creative with date night. And that just means date night doesn't have to mean a fancy dinner out every time or a trip away, even though I think those are really important. So here are 7 things that my husband and I have done over the years when we've had low to no budget or no babysitter. So the first one is when the kids are in bed, read a book or the Bible together before you go to bed. But even if it's just 10 to 15 minutes, it's a time to take and build connection. I recommend a little glass of wine and some dark chocolate. Don't talk about the budget. Don't have your phones out. Just read an interesting book or a theological book that will spark conversation. And it might not spark conversation right then. Maybe you're too tired. But maybe as you sleep, ideas will come to you, and in the morning, you'll have something that you want to chat with and share with your husband about. And it's really valuable to learn together and to strategize together. And it helps when you're learning new things at the same time. Second thing we like to do, one of our favorites, is make the kids a special dinner, which for our children usually means junk food, like mac and cheese or ramen or something they don't get on a regular basis. And they think they're just being wined and dined. They're so excited about this, or breakfast for dinner. And then we let them go play. And if it's the summertime, we'll eat outside, al fresco dining with some wine while they're just inside playing or whatever. And they know it's mommy, daddy's special time. We explain it to them, or we put on a movie. Well, we make a simple dinner where it's just grilling steaks, and I threw some baked potatoes in the oven while I was making dinner for the kids, and we just throw together a nice salad that the little ones don't normally want to eat, but we enjoy. Something like that, just something special. We'll do surf and turf. We'll make a fancy pasta dish. We'll make even fancy omelets. Just taking the opportunity to work together in the kitchen to get the dinner ready, and then maybe light some candles, bring out your fancy dinnerware, because it's just 2 place settings. It's not that much extra work, guys. Take a little time, take a little moment together. It's really fun. One of our favorite things to do. Next up is play a game that you both enjoy together, or maybe it's a game that you enjoy playing with your kids and you think it's funny. Play it together and not with your children. This is something that's really fun to do. And I have several friends that do this as couples. They play card games together, and it's just a chance to like laugh and joke and be silly and fun and flirtatious with each other. So I encourage you to do that as well. You don't have to have a sitter for this. Put the kids to bed, play a game together. After the kids are tucked in, you have a little time together, or they're, busy somewhere else. Ask each other about something from their past, whether it's a memory about a holiday, their special birthday present that they remember getting, their favorite thing to do for Christmas, something they remember that was funny their dad used to do. There's lots of little things you can think about. And then also, it's really good and important to spend some time talking about the future together. You don't have to make crazy plans, just brainstorm and let each other just kind of chat about what's your vision for the next 5 years, what's your vision for the next 10 years. Think about ways that you want to move forward as a couple, as a family, and just get on the same page and work as a team towards that vision together. And it helps to just get to know the person, and sometimes all we need is just that one little question to move us forward in that. Depending on the season of life you're in, buckle them up in the car and take a drive. We would do that kind of close to nap time if we had errands to run. We'd stop and get a nice drink that we could enjoy together, take a longer drive, maybe run errands, like drive-through errands. We got to stop by the bank, we got to drop something off at here, and then we're going to get out at this point. And we would do all those errands first while we had a drink. The kids would fall asleep in the car, and maybe we would park and leave the car running while they finished taking a nap, parked at a lovely park, and we would sit and sip our drinks and enjoy the view. Yeah, when your kids are just buckled in, you can use the opportunity to chat and connect with each other. Don't use the opportunities that you have to talk with each other to complain and moan and gripe. Try to plan a time. If there's a conflict between you that you need to discuss, then plan some time to talk about it. But if you've chatted ahead of time and you've had an idea to go enjoy time together, really don't bring up pain points. I mean, maybe it's an obstacle, like a parenting issue you need to discuss. That's different than like, you didn't do what you said you do. Let's enjoy each other. Along that same line, we really enjoy taking walks, and now we just take walks all the time together. It's a great way to get the cogs turning and unravel that big ball of tangled thoughts up there. I don't know why walking does that. It's just kind of powerful that way. And when we're together, we can really chat and talk it out and work through something together, or just share each other's thoughts and ideas. So we will take a walk, and when we had littles, we would just always have to bring them along with us, baby in the carrier, toddler in the stroller. Don't make it about the kids. Just let them enjoy the scenery, and you guys talk to each other. It's really easy to ask the kids questions and they'll look at the birdie, and do that another time. I'm talking about date night ideas. So it's not date night, maybe it's date day, but just take the opportunity to have it be about you, and the kids are along for the ride and they can enjoy it too. That's what I mean. Maybe get a little special drink for them too, a little cup of hot cocoa, you enjoy a cup of coffee, whatever it is, make it special, make it fun, and make it about you guys. A final tip along the same lines of sharing memories with each other is, I'll link this in my blog post, my corresponding blog post I have about this. There's a book there's several different books. There's one in particular that we have that has prompting questions to ask each other, which are very engaging and insightful. And you can learn new trivia about your spouse, but there's also free, if you just Google date night questions or 10 questions to ask your spouse or whatever, there's a lot online for free. And so don't try to complete the whole list in one sit down with each other, but maybe just ask each other a few of the questions and that you've never asked them before. If you've never asked your spouse one of those questions before, you don't know what their favorite childhood pet was. It's just fun to learn this new trivia, or what are your thoughts on such and such that you didn't know and haven't dug in there. That is a really fun thing to do together when you have some time. And I just pray for your marriage that God would bless it, and He would use it as a mighty force in the world to build His kingdom, and that these little tiny tips would be able to bear fruit in your life to just build that unity and connection, and you can go forth together. Thank you again for joining me here today, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye, guys.